Alright guys, welcome back. I am Thickolis. This is the Interchange spawn guide. Little follow-up to the Interchange survival guide. Pretty simple. If you're having an issue getting inside, this video is going to cover all the different spawns and all the different options you have to either start a fight or get into the building and get towards your tasks faster. I want to keep the intro short. We do stream now at 6 a.m. every morning PST, and there is a Discord, so if you want to join the community, you're more than welcome to do that. But let's hop into the video. Alright guys, welcome inside Interchange. We are here on the top side of the map on top of Idea. There's a parking lot, highways over there, and power is on the far side. The first two spawns, we're just going to kind of hop straight into it. The first two spawns we're going to talk about are going to be blue fence to the top side out of bounds over here. Both of these, I tend to go for whatever the closest spawn PvP I can get at the start of raid is, regardless really of what my task is. So if I get one of these spawns that are pretty much from the fence to the top side over here, then I'm pretty much always going to take the power fight. The power fight's pretty much almost always guaranteed within like the first 5 to 7 minutes. And I just enjoy taking the power station fight more so than the parking lot fight. If I didn't want to take the fight, or if I was taking like a CQB kit and I just wanted to get inside, then I would just head on inside right here and head on to my objective, hit whatever escalator put me close to it, and then clear my sectors from there. If you get either of these spawns, your most likely spawns are going to be power or on the far side of power, rotating towards power. And then if you get the spawns that are over here, you can get the spawn that's like way at the end, but it's not very likely. You're more likely to get the wood spawns that are going to be right over here, moving towards to cross the road. But do be careful, because there is one spawn that's on this side of the road, but on the other side of the parking lot, like in the grass. And yeah, you can actually get caught by that guy pretty easily if he makes a run and starts coming down towards the end, and you expect be fighting somebody over there. He's gonna be lean peeking you before you even think someone's gonna be there. So that's pretty much your only worries. I don't like this fight that's up here. I don't find it enjoyable. I don't do very good in it. I typically do better in the power station fight, or moving in and then taking the inside the mall fight. If you do want to take the fight that's up on the top side that over here, then I recommend doing it along the fence line. Or if you can get to the containers and kind of watch out across the road, you also have the ability to kind of come right here, use the bush as cover for anybody that does rotate through there. You'll hear them before they see you most of the time, unless you're shooting. You can also kind of lean peek and kind of see if anybody's coming. Okay, angle. There's just a lot of tree cover. There's ways for people to come in over here, so you could just be laying here and nothing happens. That's really all I have for the top two spawns over here. Let's go ahead and move across to Powerstation as we move clockways around the map. All right, this is the Powerstation spawn. For this spawn, you can spawn anywhere in the back, over here in the parking lot, behind the building, over by vehicle, and then even over here by the little like power generator things. If you decide to stay here and loot, I recommend not pushing the power button until you are ready to leave. That way, if anybody is running up or going through the parking lot or around the back, you'd be able to hear them. The only ways the people are going to rotate to you are going to be either down this road from the spawn that we just had, and your other spawn is going to be over here in the containers. It does take a little bit of time to get here, so if you are the one to spawn here, you can pretty much loot everything and pretty close to get it out without having everybody get here, but there is a chance that somebody will roll up on you when you're about to leave. This is actually one of my favorite spawns in the game for Interchange, because I actually decide not to stay. I'll flip the switch, and then I like to run up the little ramp right here, go inside the like big opening, and then inside the little double doors, and then that'll lead you down the long hallway that goes all the way along Idea. If you're quick about it, you can actually make it up here before and into the hallway before the people from the front and like the woods area make it all the way up to the escalators. It gives you a really good chance to have a fight early. So with this spot, you do have a couple of options. You can stay and try to set up and wait for the engagement. You can push whoever is going to be pushing you and take the fight to them aggressively, or you can head underneath, go into the garage area, or take the ramp, go up towards Idea and have that fight, or you can head into the top side of Goshan and start working your way through towards the middle of the map. Pretty much everything that's right here. Let's move over to the container spawns. Okay, these are the road spawns that are behind Goshan. Goshan's right here. Power is just where we were right over there. And then Emercom is down the road. This spawn isn't one of my favorites. If I'm going to be coming over here, I'm probably going to go towards Power and take the Power fight. Come across the little wall right here and cut through where the broken fence is. If you're looking to avoid a fight, you can go underneath either here or on this side, right in front of Emercom. I don't recommend going all the way down to Emercom. When you come from the north heading down towards the south side, there's not a lot of cover. You have to cross a lot of open ground. Once you get to like right here, you're pretty much in the open, and if anybody does start shooting you, you're pretty much dead to rights. So if you do want to avoid anything, just head into the garage, your quickest, easiest access. If you want to take the fight, then by heading down this way, you should either run into somebody that is either already at Power or the spawn that's going to be coming from the side up on top. As for spawns, you can have the power station spawn and then the top spawn like we just said. And then south from here, it kind of depends on how south you spawn, but you can have the corner spawn over by extract. You can have the spawn that's on the other side of the street over here along the top side. You also have the possibility of having the parking lot spawn that's right here or just on the other side of the wall of parking lot. Not too much here. We're really just on the backside of a building. Let's roll over to Emercom and see what it looks like. All right, so this is the top side of Emercom. Emercom's back there along the wall. I'm going to include back here, like in the hill and in the trees, along with the parking lot, as kind of the same kind of spawn. If you actually try to go to the actual Emercom ramp, it's quite deadly. As soon as you get like out here past the trees and into the road, you don't have a lot of cover. If you take the ramp and you go all the way up, you're not going to have cover until you hit to the top of the ramp. And if you come down here on the bottom side, you're not going to have cover until you make it around the containers right here. So pretty open. If somebody spawns back here over at Emercom and you spawn in the parking lot, by the time you make it over here to the corner, they can have a good angle to cover this whole front area. So you're going to have to run through pretty much open ground while they're taking pretty accurate shots of you. Instead, what I like to do is normally I'll still go down there and take the power station fight. Since I'm definitely the furthest person away from it, usually I'll roll through there as like a third party, and if there was already an engagement going up, then I'll just clean that up and then take whatever's left. Other option that you can be is you can go into the garage right here. Garage takes you all the way to the hole in the wall where you can use the sunken floor to get into the mall. You can hit any of the Goshan on escalators going up. A lot more options to head up this way than to head down here over to Emercom. So we'll take a look at the other Emercom spawns in just a second. Spawns for over here. If you spawn inside the parking lot, then you might have the power station and over there on the top side that will probably rotate to power. If you spawn further back, like outside the wall right here or outside the wall, then there's a very good chance you have someone over here along by the containers. So if you do come up down like around this way and you get to the corner and you kind of like clear your side, you can actually see somebody either rotating towards you or they're going towards power. And then on the top side right here, you can have the Emercom spawn if you spawn over here in the parking lot. You can also have the spawns that are over here on the top side along by the wall. I feel like for the most part, you can ignore the spawns that are going to be on the south side over here. And if you just come up and worry about clearing the road, then you can either make it underneath or you can make it all the way to power. But let's hop across Emercom and take a look at the bottom side and see how it looks. Okay, this is the bottom side of Emercom. You have spawns that are actually inside the extract itself. And I'm going to also include pretty much all the spawns leading up to the kind of top side of the hill right here. All of these spawns kind of funnel towards Emercom. If I get any of these spawns, I quickly recognize where I'm at, and then I pretty much make a beeline for the trees over here. From these southern spawns, you can have spawns that spawn all the way along the wall right here. There's also a spawn over in the parking lot area. The parking lot area is very close to the front of the building, so most of the time they're going to end up over there. But if you actually come to this like tree instead of bushes, you get a really big vantage point for this area. So you're able to quickly scan over the top of the hill and see if anybody's rotating towards you, and if they are, then they just rotate straight into you. And if you don't see anybody coming down that way, then you can actually cover the top side right here of Emercom. If anybody does make their way through, they have to cross the street, a lot of open ground, and then get into cover before you're able to kill them. Pretty easy to get some kills right here if they do commit to going towards Emercom, or you can catch some people that are rotating right here. If you don't want to get into any type of engagement, or if there's nothing here and you're ready to move in, I still don't recommend taking Emercom. I usually only use that as an extraction point towards the end of raid. If I get on the bottom side over here, I'll pretty much rotate and go in either through the garage, or if I'm looking for PvP, then I'll go to the front of the garage over here. Over here, on this backside, when you spawn down here, your closest spawns you can have in the parking lot, you can have the containers over there. Sometimes you'll get the spawn that's inside Emercom itself. Not too common. Usually it's when people spawn on the outside, and then on the outside you'll get that one. Typically if you're back here or up on the hill, then probably going to have the containers, or you're going to have over here by the little parking lot or above it. That's pretty much it for this area. Let's go over here and cover the south wall. All right, this is the south side of Ali. Here's Ali. There's the Emercom entrance. This is going to include pretty much all the spawns from that hill that we were speaking about all the way to about here with the road and the parking lot. These spawns pretty much move and funnel into the bottom side. All of these spawns right here, I don't think they react really well with Emercom. If somebody runs to those trees that I was just kind of talking about when I was explaining the last set of area, by the time I'm right here, I'm already visible. Like, there's a tree right here, there's a lot of trees that block, there's a lot of bushes that you're kind of worried about. You're kind of also more looking towards like ramp to see if you catch anybody. By the time I actually get close enough, and that's where I was sitting on those last ones, there's just a lot of angles that you have to clear and kind of fight your way towards, and all you're really fighting towards is to go into Emercom through like the most dangerous way. So if I got either of these two spawns, I would choose to, if I didn't want to get into anything and I just want to rush and get to my map, into the map as quickly and fast as possible, then I would hit this garage, go straight underneath, hit the hole in the wall, and then either take the escalator into the top side by the mall, or go in by the sunken floor and then get into the mall itself, and then do whatever tasks I needed over there. If I was looking for PvP, then I would run around the front side right here and then hit the entrance for the garage right here. You can hit the other spawn as they're coming in through the top side and coming into the garage. You can meet them from the right side, right over by where the scavs are. Almost always a fight there. As far as spawns go, you can have the containers, you can have either the parking lot or the back of the trees over here on the top side of Emercom. Depending on how far back down you spawn, you can actually get the corner spawn as well, but more likely that you're going to get the cross spawn over there in the trees. And then over here you have a spawn that is kind of on the south side of the blue fence all the way to the road, and then you can also have a spawn that's inside the parking lot area by the containers right here. That's pretty much it for this area. Let's move to the south road over here. Okay, so these are the south highway spawns below the container area that's right here, and then the sign, there's the front of the mall right there. This spawn includes anywhere right here in the grass all the way to the spawn that's going to be over here on the actual road. The biggest issue with these spawns is that is going to be making it inside the building. Since you're pretty off to the side and off to the corner, you're pretty much one of the furthest spawns away from the building. When you get the spawn over here on the road, you can actually see one of the spawns that's over here on the south side of the scav camp. Typically for whatever spawn you get right here, by the time you move in and you get towards the front of the building, you're going to run into an engagement that's going to be over here at the parking garage, either just inside the parking garage where the two entrances meet, or over here by the entrances by the stairs, even just inside up top of by where the stairs are at. You either want to play this these spawns fast or take your time, let everybody move in and then go. I like to move quickly so that way I can get into a good position to take the garage fight over here. It's pretty predictable where they're going to be coming from. Usually it's going to be this right side from the last spawn location that we were talking about. If you're quick about it, then you can actually get there about the same time that they are. If you're late or you waiting for anything, then they can actually make it in before you, and then they can hear you coming. Biggest worries for spawns are only going to be pretty much only going to be the scav camp over here as they move in, and then the spawns that are going to be over here in the field halfway to Emercom as they move in. If you want to be as safe as possible, try to get into the container area and kind of just hold that down for just a little bit, let everybody move in. Having the containers there gives you a lot of cover, makes it easier to hold. You don't want to be out here into the open, because sometimes you'll get people that'll rotate down the hill or down the road and come this way. You'll get people that don't want to take the fight over there, so they'll come through the trees this way. Just know which way you're going, know which way to look, and this shouldn't be too much of an issue. All right, up next we have the south side of Scav Camp. This is going to include if you spawn outside of the gate right here, and then all the way up to essentially where the tanker is. This is the spawn that I was saying that you can actually see somebody all the way down here if they spawn on the end. So depending on how bad your connection is, you can get brained. Because Scav Camp is a pass-through area, you don't really have that bad of a position if you're quick about it and you want to get inside. Because everyone's kind of off to the side, you can actually make a sprint pretty quickly to make it inside before the other sides get into position. You don't really have much to worry about on the top side because everybody has to move in. The bottom side, they have to move in. So if you are moving in and you're kind of coming up along this way, then if you drift towards the right, you're going to end up towards that parking lot fight. I recommend not going through this open area just because if they meet you right here, then you're just going to be running through an empty parking lot. Use the little like tree pathing right here in the middle. Help give you a little bit of cover. And then if you get shot at from the other side, then you can just jump over the opposite side of where you're getting shot from. As far as spawns in this area, you're going to have the spawns that are going to be over here along the road as well as along the back hill. You'll probably have on the other side of the container spawn, or you might even have the parking lot spawn that's over there on the other side of the building. And then on this side, you're going to have the wood spawn anywhere from close wall all the way to like kind of like the middle side. And then you're going to have the top side of highway. But again, those are pretty far away and you're going to have to be here for a very long time to have to worry about those. Scav Camp, pretty decent spawn. Just decide pretty quickly if you want to make the run either inside very quickly or if you want to push your way towards one of the engagements, either towards the south side garage or up here towards highway. And then for the top side of Scav Camp, you have this other little area up here on the other side of the fuel tanker right there. Same thing, if you're quick about it, you can make it through and then get into the building with some pretty good positioning early. Get to wherever you need to be well before anybody else has to get there. As far as what your dangers are, if you spawn here on the top side, you're not gonna have to worry about that south spawn or the tunnel, or I mean the garage area. You're not gonna make it there unless you like specifically want to head to that direction. You're probably gonna end up through the mall or one of the side entrances. If you're looking for danger, you want to get into a fight early, then it's kind of hard in this area because you're probably going to have to wait a little bit, because depending on how far back they spawned here in the woods, it takes some time to come up. And these spawns kind of know that this is a risky area, so you're probably not going to see them just run out and just sprint across. Every so often you will, but it's not too common. It's also harder because you're you have just like straight walls. It's a little harder to like get like good angles that you can be like leaning from, just because your silhouette does stick out. And more often than not, your worry is actually going to be who the guy that's over here at the highway. As he moves across, he is already scanning towards the woods over here. It doesn't take very much for him to scan down this right here, and if he sees you kind of moving around or trying to get in position, it just leaves you with little options just when it's time to go. You know what I mean? Let's head up to the wooded area right here and see what dangers lie for us over here. Okay, this is the south side of the railway extract. Railway is over here. This is pretty much going to include all the spawns that can spawn over here in the wooded area, pretty much all the way up to essentially like the road area right here. All of these spawns, your biggest issue is going to be dealing with crossing and making it to the building itself. The highway spawn over here has a pretty good spawn. If they want to play aggressive towards you, then can make your life more difficult. Most of the time, because people don't want to deal with the highway spawn, they'll kind of float towards the scav camp over here. You can kind of join up over here. Most of the time, if you're going to have one of these close spawns, then it's probably going to be the further side of scav camp that they're going to spawn. So you should be able to make it over here. Biggest thing is once you get towards the entrances, you're probably not going to be the first person there, so just clear corners, know which entrance you want to go through. If you're going to be late, don't run in through like the main entrance, go in through underneath, clear your pathing, and then go hit like a further escalator or something, and that's going to increase your chances of making it alive inside. As far as spawns over here, most of the spawns that are going to be along the top side of highway and then over there towards sign and behind the sign. Same thing over here. You can have the scav camp ones that are going to be either on this side of the container or the other side of the container. If you're close, if you're close, then you can probably get the ones on the other side. And if you're spawning more towards like the middle, more towards the highway, then there's a very good chance you have this side of scav camp. Most of the time with this spawn, I'm going to go look for the highway fight. If I die, it's just because the spawn kind of, you just got to play the spawn. Doesn't always happen, but a lot of times that spawn will just try to move in. They won't want to be taking the engagement. Not a lot of people enjoy fighting outside of interchange, so there's a chance that if you rotate through the backside and you come up through, that you'll do it with little risk, but just be careful. All right, now we're over here by the railway extract. Railway extract is right over there. That's going to include all of the spawns that are going to be back over here all the way to pretty much the highway right here. With these spawns, you're going to be dealing with the other far sign highway spawns and the woods right here leading up to scav camp. Really two ways that you can play it. You can either take a more direct path and try to cut off and get into a like kind of wood battle with whoever's spawning over here by the scav camp. If you come up this way, then you can kind of start clearing the little construction area and look for whoever spawns over there. They could be over here in the construction area. They could be over by like the go-kart area. And they could also be up and behind the sign area as well. More often than not, I'm probably gonna take the highway. I'm gonna take the highway pathing this way, just because less likely I'm gonna run into somebody. I don't really want to have the woods fight. If I wanted the woods fight, I would go to woods. I want to get inside and get into idea, so that way I can get into that like front cash register hallway engagement. That's usually at the start of raid. If you head to fight the south spawn right over here, then typically by the time you get to like the front row of trees right here and you start pressing the hill is when you're going to start seeing them coming over the hill and start making their way to the street. But lastly, we have to cover the top side of highway right here, and you guys are good to go. All right, for our last spawn location, we have inside the little construction area by the like freeway on-ramp. We started over here on the top side with the pathing that leads over to Powerstation. There's the sign, and then there is the railroad extract that we were just at. With this spawn, it's going to just kind of depend on what it is that you want to do. If you want to get into the building quickly, then you can take a kind of direct diagonal path and get in. You can usually make it to the front or go underneath before anybody else is going to get there. If you're spawning here on the close side, then you're probably not going to have anybody over here in the dirt. Can happen, but more often than not, you're going to be fine. If you want to take the engagement off outside, like right at the starter raid, then you can actually come all the way over here to the front side of the front side of the building, or like that little like Connex building right there. Kind of lean peek out, you can see all the way down the hill towards the scav camp. You can see everybody that's crossing right here. I don't like being outside in Interchange. It's not the engagement that I want to take, so I don't usually go that way. I'll usually go inside here, and then again, I want to take that cash register fight right off the start. This is one of those decision type of spawns. If you decide to fight, then you can go find a fight. If you decide you want to get on with your tasks and stay alive for a little bit longer, then it's pretty easy to make that decision and do that as well. Alright guys, that's it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this answered a lot of your questions for the opening minutes of Interchange and kind of the better ways that you can use to get inside. If you have any questions, as always, I read all of the comments, so if you want to leave a question down in the comments, I will get to it. Or if you want to join the Discord, you're more than welcome to post it in the Discord and we'll have a discussion there. And with the winner of the most recent poll, the next map I'm going to be covering in the survival guide will be Streets, so stay on the lookout for that video to drop. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in one of the lives or on Twitch. I'm Thickless, and I'll see you in Raid.